Good morning, Canadian Yarn Horde. My name's Alyssa, and today's just a quick daily project today. Sorry, I just did a daily update. My bad. So I'm doing a quick project today. I am going to release this for American Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all my American viewers. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoy the family. As Canadians, we do ours at the beginning of October, which I absolutely adore because it is closer to the harvest. And then we get Halloween. And then from Halloween on, we get all this lovely Christmas time. So I know you guys, today is yours, and you go right into Thanksgiving and straight into Christmas craziness. So I did want to make this beautiful little coffee cup cozy. I am going to link a video because when I started this, I was going to do that video, and halfway I got to the first row halfway through and I went, I really don't like it. I didn't like the way she was doing it for my uses. So I am going to post the link to the video, because I do think the video, I think her name's Muskie or something like that. It's something very similar to that. I will post it down below. She did make hers very differently than I made mine. So this is my design. If somebody else has made this, I'm going to tell you this came from my mind. So I know that I did this myself. So I'm going to show you how to make it. I'm going to move you over to the overhead cam and we're going to get started. All right. So first I'm going to start with the yarns. The first yarn, the base of it is this Softy Bernat. Their Bernat Baby Softy Baby. It is 100% acrylic. It is a light 3. It recommends a 4mm needle and a 4mm hook. It also has this really lovely little diagram on it about how to get a center pull if you want. Basically take the label off, stand it upright, squish it down, and you'll get the center pull. I have tried that. I don't find it as accurate as rolling it, but it is a great technique, and I love that they put it on the instructions. This color is called Little Mouse. So that is the main base of the color I'm going to work with. This yarn I bought from True North Yarn Company probably 6 or 7 years ago. It is a Cascade yarn. It is the Cherub Aran. I have no idea how much I paid for it. It is a 55% nylon and a 45% acrylic. It doesn't really give you a whole lot else other than a 4.5 hook and a 4 to a 5 hook or needle. They don't really say. I guess that's machine wash. So there's not a lot about this, although it is a thin yarn. It is a thinner yarn than a medium DK, although some, like a Caron Super Soft, might work with this. And this one, I don't really have any information whatsoever on. So it is about the same size. It's about the same length. It's just an orange I've had kicking around for years. I don't even know when or where I got it. So now I'm going to discuss the hook. And this one is actually really important because normally I just use my hook. I use the hook I like, but this hook is actually really, really important. And I say that because we are going to be doing a Tunisian type stitch, and you're going to want a really long length. So you can get wooden hooks, you can get aluminum hooks. This hook I got from the Muskoka Yarn Connection up in Bracebridge for, as you can see, $10. It is a Knitter's Pride Zing hook. Now, I do know you can buy a set on Amazon that I am truly lusting after, and I'm hoping to get for Christmas. It is $53 and then $10 for shipping. I will link it in the description box below. It does have, I think, 7 hooks in it. And as I said, this one, we were on a trip down to that yarn store. I had a flimsy hook, so I bought what they had, not knowing I would absolutely fall in love with it. There is also a reason why I do like it. It is this, what they call a brass tip. I think they call it a brass tip on the other one, so I'm not sure. They didn't call it on this one, but so this tip is very, very smooth and it glides really, really nicely. I absolutely adore working with this hook. I can understand people not liking it because it doesn't have a much heavy handle. However, This particular pattern, you are going to want a longer hook. You will see when we get into it. And that's pretty much what you need to get started. So we are going to start with a magic circle. Now, I have heard people have trouble with a magic circle. It is the biggest thing some people have trouble with. So I'm going to try to go really slow to show you how to do this. So you want to hold it in your left hand. Now, I am left-handed, and I don't know if you can do this with your right the same way, but I can knit with my right hand and I still do this with my left while I knit. So if you can get this to your left hand, it is one of those things. You want to hold the tail here and then you pull your fingers down to hold the yarn tail, wrap around your finger and hold tight. Now what you want to do is you want to put your hook through the hole, grab the yarn and pull up. Now you've got that. You use your other hand to hold your tension, which my grandmother showed me when I was little, to wrap it around your baby finger and to come over under your hand and over your index finger. And she was very adamant about that. I do it to the point I don't even notice. Now, what I do is take it off my finger and then hold it and pinch it with the hook. Wrap around, pinching the knot right here with the right hand, and you pull through and pull through. I'll show you that again. So you want to hold the yarn just like that, wrap it around and hold it with your thumb. Grab your hook. Oh, I had it split there. Pull up and through and grab it with your thumb and your index finger. Wrap around your hook, pulling the loop. If you noticed, I had it like this. I just pulled it off because I'm pinching it with my thumb and my forefinger on my right hand, and I pull through the loop and pull through the loop. Now I grab that same chain with my other thumb and forefinger just to make sure I get a good hold. Go back to this one, grabbing lower down the loop, go in the loop, and you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you can untangle that. It's just wrapped around a couple of times. You just unwrap it and pull it tight. Grab it with those 2 fingers, or you can pinch it with these 2, and then you go into the top loops, and that is your magic circle. I had not realized people have trouble with that. I don't have a problem doing a magic circle because I'm made for crafting. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I've been crafting since I was a little kid. I have done so many different crafts, polymer clay, the silver art etching. I've done so many, resin, knitting, beading. So what you're going to do is this first hole here, you do 1 single crochet and then you do a 2nd single crochet. This is your increase rows. You are always going to do a magic circle and then usually an increase. So then you're going to do that again, increase again, 1, 2, and you're going to increase all the way along. And I have to say, this hook just glides. If you can handle an aluminum hook, or you get one of those, I think one's a Prim ergonomic handle. There are some gelatinous ones I've seen. There are some foam ones that you can get from Amazon that I've seen, all to make the hook better. I do recommend highly this set. I actually accidentally bought another set I'm waiting on in the mail that's very similar. I thought they was Knitter's Pride, but it's Knit Pro. So they're very similar, and I cannot honestly say I'm going to like it. So I am slightly lusting after that Knitter's Pride set that I'd really like. But I do know I have the Knit Pro, and I'm hoping I like them as much. If I do, then who am I kidding? I will still probably put money towards buying the Knitter's Pride one, because I have a hook obsession. That's why I called the channel Canadian Yarn Hoarder, because I do hoard. I love to hoard yarn. I love to hoard knitting needles and hooks, because you never know what's going to become your favorite. So as you can see, that hole has started to come out. Now this is another staple of the channel I do like to do. After that second row of increases, or the first row of increases after your essential magic circle row, I like to tighten in my tail, and that's because it does pull itself out. Now I'm going to darn it in. And for any American viewers, I would love you to tell me what Thanksgiving movies are out there. I only know Heathcliff's Garfield's Thanksgiving, I should say. I watched that one. We have the 4 movie set of Garfield, and we always watch the Garfield Thanksgiving movie. And I know the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving movie. I don't really know if there's any other staples. If you would let me know in the comment section below, I would love to know that, so that we can, I love getting seasonal movies. I love watching seasonal movies. Actually, some of my favorite Christmas movies, most people haven't even heard of, because they like It's a Wonderful Life, and I'm sitting there with Prep and Landings. So I love to watch modern movies. I love to watch older movies to some degree. I'm not a big fan of the old movies, to be honest. I don't usually watch It's a Wonderful Life or anything. I like the animated movies best myself, the animated seasonal ones. Those are my favorite. So those will be the ones that I'll be watching in the next little while. But I would love to know some more Thanksgiving movies, if they're out there. As I said, I do know of a couple. So, and yet again, you are going to chain 2, 1, 2, and now you're going to knit, crochet 1 single crochet, and then you're going to go to the next stitch, and you're going to do 2 in this one, and then you're going to do 1, and then you're going to do 2, and you're going to continue this all the way around. Now, I'm going to go until I have a stitch, 4 stitches in between each increase. You just keep going the same way. So each row you add the next stitch in between. So this one's 1, the next one will be 2, and then 3, and then 4. I will come back when I have 4, and we'll measure it and see if I have to go any larger. I don't believe I did. I do believe I stopped at 4, but I might have done 5. So I will be back when I have the 4, and I will see you in a second. Okay, so I have my measurements. I do not know if you can see, but if you can see, it goes around the base, and then there's 1 extra row, which is where you want it to be. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to do a row. Let me just put it here. Yeah, okay, so there's 2 rows of single crochet now. And you're just going to do 2 straight rows of single crochet. I like to get that stitch right there, and then go all the way around. So you're going to do this twice, no increases, just a single crochet. I will come back when we're done that. And then the next row, we're going to actually start the pattern. So I will be back to start the pattern in a second. Okay, so I've got that done. Now what we're going to do, and what I want you to do, is test it on your cup. If you are up to the bottom of the handle like that, where we are, this is where you want to start to split for the handle. So now you're no longer going to do the single round, and we're going to do a double crochet now, because you're going to start getting ready for this row. Actually, yeah, you're going to start getting ready for this row. So you're going to double crochet, and then you're going to, now if you want, this is the time to turn it inside out. So if you like this side of it, this is the time to do it. And you're going to double crochet 1, 2, 3, and 4. And a double crochet, if you don't know, is you have your loop on your hook, you wrap around, you go through the hole, you wrap around, you pull, you wrap around again, you pull through 2, you wrap around and you pull through 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and you're going to go in a double crochet in that 5th space. And you're going to do that all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th one you go in and do the double crochet. You're going to do this all the way around, and I will come back when we get to the end, and remember not to slip stitch it together. So now what we're going to do is I have that chain 4, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1 space here. So I am going to put a second single or a double crochet in here. I remember I said you're not going to connect that, but you are going to go 1, 2, and then you're going to grab a stitch holder and you're going to put that right here. Now I'm going to go with the light orange because I have the dark orange started first, so I'm just going to alternate that on this one. So you want to make a slip knot. So like I do is you pinch the thumb and the forefinger together with the yarn and pinch it when it's got 2. Pull it up and there's your slip knot. Now what you want to do is go to the first hole and you're going to come through and you're going to chain 2. 1, 2, and then you're going to go 1 and pull through 2 loops. And you're going to do 10 of these. So you go through, wrap around, come through, go through only 2 of the loops, leaving through on. Wrap around, go through the loop, wrap around and pull through 2. Now you have 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, this is going to end up being your inside no matter what. 8, 8, 9, 10, and I'm just going to do 11 just because I did it. So there's 11, wrap it around and go through all of them. Single crochet, 1, 2, and then I like to just, that very first one right here, or last one, or whatever you want to call the very far one, grab 2 loops around it after you chained 2 and then just single crochet it. So that kind of puts your yarn to go this way. And now you're going to chain 4. That tail is going to be a pain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to do that again. Slip it in. So you slip stitch, chain 2. 1, 2. All right, I really don't like that. I am going to change something that I did differently in this video that I did not do with that one, what I was hoping it was working. But I'm going to try something slightly different now. And actually, because I really do want this to be the inside, the best way to handle this is, so what we're going to do is we're back to the beginning of that. And we're going to do this just a little bit different now. So I'm going to single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, and bear with me, I haven't done this particular method, so I'm trying something slightly new that I did not do with this one, that I'm trying to make it look a little bit better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're just going to single crochet like you did with the double crochets. You're just doing single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I will come back at the end of this row and show you what I'm going to do next row. 1, 2, 3, 4, to make it slightly different again than I did from this. I think it's going to work a little bit better, and it's definitely going to put this on the outside. So I will be back in a second. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so now I have not slip stitched them together. So we're going to go 1, 2, turn, and you're going to repeat this again. 1, 2, 3. So that first one's already there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yep, 1. All right, I forgot that. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now just chain 3 again, or 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I did not do this one last time, this extra row. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm hoping by doing this row, I don't have to do double crochets in when I do the top row. So I'm kind of trying to eliminate a row, but all right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will come back when I'm done this row to show you how to do the pumpkins again. Oh, well, that I messed up, didn't I? I'm going to have to fix that. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, and 4. And then I can get 1 and 2, 2, and now you're going to turn. And like I said, this row is the row I did not do last time, but we are going to 1 there, and then that's 2, so I'm going to do 2 there, and 1, 2. Actually, I think it's only 1, so I'm only going to do 1. 2, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're just going to single crochet 4, just like you did the last row. 3, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're just going to go around, and I will be back to show you how to do the orange one in just a second. So now you finish that row. I'm going to 1, 2. Now, as I said, you're going to want to go to the bottom here, put your slip knot on. I like to go on the outside, come in, and then slip knot, 1, 2, And then you're going to do this again. 1, 2. So I actually have 3 on, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And as I said, you go down and through all of them. 1, and then come to this end, and, or 1, 2. That should be enough. So come to the end and then just slip stitch so that your working thread is going the way you want it. 1, 2, 3, 4. To get over the solid, you're going to slip stitch. Oh, no, you want to slip stitch both of them. So you're slip stitching both chains together. 1, 2. And then you're gonna 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you're going to come through. 1, 2. And then, as I said, you want to just grab the 2 loops here so you can single crochet it down, or slip stitch it down, I should say. Slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will come back at the end of this row to show you how we finish this next row off. So now, pardon me. So now that I've gotten that first orange one done, you pull it out. You don't connect them anywhere else. So now you can come back to this one, take it off the stitch marker. Now I think you're still going to have to do a half double crochet as opposed to a double crochet, which I did there. So I'm at least going to do a half double crochet because there's still a little bit of height there. So we're going to, I think half double crochet will work better than the double crochet. So now one of the things I did like to do was grab it right here. So there's your single, and you can just work the tail in here if you'd like to. 1, 2, and you know you're doing 4 stitches. So 3 and 4. And then you go back to the half double crochet here. Nope, I didn't do that one quite right. With the half double crochet, you want to make sure you get into the brown here. So go into the brown. 1. Now, if you don't want to, I did do this as well. I pushed the orange slice back because I didn't want to see that. If you notice, there's a bit of a bulge on some of them, where there's some of them they don't have the same, and that's because I did include that in it and some I didn't. So if you don't want to, hold it behind your finger so you don't grab it accidentally, and then just a half double crochet in front. Oop, that didn't work. And then you do 4 in the front, making sure not to grab that chain. And I will say, you will see it on the inside. So if you look in here, you will see my chains. Some of them you will see, some you won't, because some you accidentally grab, some you don't. So if you, and then like I said, see that one I grabbed, and you can see it through it. So I don't always like grabbing it. But this way, where do I want to grab you? Right there. Right there? Yeah. Now I want to go a bit higher. So I like to grab as high on these pumpkins as I can. 2, 3, and 4. And then we go into the double crochets or half double crochets. And like I said, just make sure you don't get the orange in there if you don't want it, because you can see it through sometimes. And it does make it a little larger to the row you're working on. So if you just want to make it so that you don't see it, you just keep it behind your work. And then when you get there, you just single crochet to each across each pumpkin. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we go half double crochet in here. Oh. And like I said, it is easy to grab it, but it can be seen through. I've done this a couple of times now on a couple of different coasters, coffee cozies, sorry, and you can see the color through to some degree, and I don't like that a lot. I don't want you to be able to see the back color, so I want you to see the brown. Now, if you really wanted to, you could run a green here, so your second, or you could run, I'll show you now. Actually, I'll show you on the next one, because I'm not going to do too many with green in it. So I'll do 1 row with a green stem. That'll be the next one, and I'll show you how to do it. And then I will show you the finished product, and we will be done. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this one has only taken a couple of hours, so you should be able to have enough time to do it in a night if you can sit down and work. If you can't, you should be able to get it done in a couple of days. You know what it's like being a mom and being crazy and busy and constantly running around taking care of everything. So some nights you can get it done in a day. Some nights you may have to take some time. There. So I will be back at the end of this row to show you the next row. So now you want to do 1, 2, 2 more rows. So you have a total of 3 in between each pumpkin patch. So you're just going to do through 2 more rows of this one is 2 rows of single crochet. So simple, easy. Ooh, I forgot that loop. There we go. And you're just going to go around, and you want to make sure that your next one has the pumpkins on the inside again. And you do want to make the pumpkins look this way because they look really good, and they poof out the right way. You can poof these out, but they then try to revert back. So if you do it backwards, it's not the end of the world, but I'm sorry. Oh, I do find it does look a little better if you just make them with the basic cluster stitch on the inside. And I will be back when I'm done these 2 to show you the next row. Actually, you're going to want to do 4 rows because then we're going to need to do 1 extra row. So I've only done my 1, 2, and this is my 3rd row. So I have to do 1 more row after that. So I did my half double crochet and single crochet row, and then my 2, and I'm going to actually do 3 single crochet rows to make sure that my 4th row, or my 5th, my 5th row, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then my 5th row, when I do the open slots for the next pumpkin row, will still put the pumpkin pieces the way I want it. So you have to do 4 in between. I didn't do that on the other one, and I regretted it because, like I said, if you notice here, the pumpkins are the wrong way. Here they're the right way, and here they're the right way, but they're the wrong way. So I didn't pay attention to that on that one. So I'm trying to fix that on this one. And as I said, if you don't want to do the green, I don't know if they need it. I kind of like the little pumpkins the way they are, but I am going to try and get green on this next row because there is only 3 rows. And we'll go from there. So I will be back after I finish the next single crochet row. Actually, since we do the 2 rows of single crochet, so this one is going to have 1, 2, that's what I'm not supposed to do. Yeah, no, this one's single crochet. That's right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and you want to go right to that one. So 4, 5, and 6 for this one. And now you're going to do the 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th one. So now you're offsetting the pumpkins. And as I said, I don't need to single crochet this row fully. I just need to do this because the next row will repeat this row. So that's 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will come back 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 after I'm done the next row, because as I said, this and the next row are the same. So you'll have two chain rows. And I will be back to show you how to do the next orange row. So I've gotten to the end and I only have the 4 stitches here. So I do 3 chains and then I do a single crochet in the 4th one. So I will do that extra pumpkin here. I just like to have it finished with a chain stitch. So I don't do quite as large, although you can still get them in. 1, 2, 3, and this one's 3. So we go back and we're just going to double this row. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, and you're just going to do this all the way back. Now, the one thing is you are going to have these little holes at the bottom of the pumpkin, but I really don't think they make a huge difference when it's on the cup. And if anything, they're little vent holes. But I don't think it makes the cup look bad at all. And actually, I kind of like it. So there's that. So now we're going to continue on this row, and then I will be back to show you the next row. Okay, so we've gotten that row done. So you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to put this one on a stitch marker. Now we're going to grab the other orange I have, and we're going to make that slip knot again. And I don't need a lot of a tail, so I'm going to try and make that as small as possible. Now, what I want to do is come through there, grab it, pull it through so the tail comes into the back. There we go. And like I said, you do not have to put your tail or your pumpkins on the inside or the wrong side of your work. I just find 1, 2, no, there we go. I find it looks better if you have the tail on the inside. I mean, I could work the tail in right now if I really wanted to. So like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then, ooh, and this does happen, and it is a giant pain in the butt when it does. But just try to get the hook back in there and go all the way through all the stitches. 1, 2. And then you just try to grab the outer loops, just so you have your chain flat there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, you're going to single crochet or slip stitch into the first spot and grab both of the chains. 1, 2. And now you see why I was so, you need a long necked hook. If I show you, I'll show you on this one that it does not go well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And as you can see, it's really hard to work with it. 1, 2. So I very much recommend you can do it. And I think I did the other one with it that I was working, and it had a bit thicker yarn and it did not go well. So you could use the 3.5 hook on this one if you wanted to, of the smaller one, but I do have another one coming out soon and it's similar, but I changed the design technique a little bit and I'm very proud of it. It really, it was a lot harder on that one to get 11 stitch or 10 to 11 stitches on and still be able to do it. Having a nice large space to be able to move your hoops and your loops through is a much more ideal way to do this. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And go through, and as you see, it looked a lot smoother that time, in my opinion. It feels a lot smoother. So I'm going to continue on this row, and I'm going to finish the next row, because if you really want to see it, go back and just rewatch the first. Or what you do is you just line them up when you get there. It's like, okay, so that's where I started, do the 4, and you repeat. So it's all the same. 2, 3, 4. I will come back when I have it done to show you how I finished it off. So I will be back in a minute and I'll see you in a sec. So just to reiterate that I said I was going to do the green here. So do the 2 on the one side, go through the third one. Now I'm going to do 5 on here because I have the green. So I'm just going to do 1 stitch in green. Actually, I should have. And if you're ever doing something and you forget to do that, you can do that. So we're just going to do 5. And then go back to that one. And now I'm going to pull through that. I'm going to run the green behind. I'm not going to chain or anything. So that's there. 4. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. So we're just going to do 5 here. And you're just going to do your half double crochets, 2, 3, 4. For some reason, I have a 5th one here. That's all right. I'm going to leave that. Oh, no, I need that one. So there's 5. Let's just try and make sure this is not going to be too big if I do 5, because sometimes that can happen. And you do not want... I think I'm going to figure that one out a little bit better. And it looks like I did it again anyway. So one of the things that I do have a bad habit on is getting that caught in there. 1. Now I am going to do a decrease here. So 2, 3, and then I'm just going to do another decrease, which is you go in and do a half double, you do half of the stitch, you do another half of the stitch, and then you pull them both together at the end. And the reason I'm doing that is so I don't screw up my stitch count. It is something I have learned. So now I'm going to, actually one of the things I am going to do here that might help is I'm going to single crochet with the green in just this last stitch. And then I'm going to, one of the color change tips I was given a while back is to always wait until you have the 2 loops on. And then I'm just going to carry that, pull the yarn again in front, and then 1, 2, and then you're going to do your half double crochet in here. I'm having a hard time seeing where I'm supposed to put it. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, as I said, you're going to grab the upper stitch and single crochet. Grab the green to do your second single crochet here, pulling the green one up and through. And as I said, just run the green in the back. And then that gives you the little bit of green on the top if you really want the tops green. But it also doesn't mean you're messing really anything that much up. 1, 2. So I'm going to finish this off, doing my best not to grab that little red strand, and I will be back when I'm done. Okay, so I am now almost done. I'm only going to do 1 row of brown for the pumpkins. I am going to do a slip stitch here. I might do, oh, pulled it too far. I am going to show you how I'm going to finish this one off as opposed to how I did this one. This one, if you want to just finish it off like you did the first one, so you just do 2 or 3 rows till you have it the length you want. This one I'm going to finish off a little bit differently. I do 1 chain and then I'm going to slip stitch here so we get the, so they'll be together. But I want to leave a bit of a tail so you can really sew this in well. And like I said, I'm not doing the double chain here with the brown, or the little mouse, if you want to call it by the name. I'm going to only do 1, and then I'm going to do the pumpkins in a second. And I might just do individual pumpkins, to be honest. So I'm not using the chain stitch in between them because I want them to be the top. And I want this top to have, you'll see in a second. I can't really explain it well. And these are going to be the tips of the pumpkins. As you can see, I do really like the green in there. I'm not going to pull it out and do it to the first row, but I figured if I do this the way I'm hoping to do it, which I think I'm done with the brown, so that's good. I can put it away now. I'm going to grab my orange and make a slip knot. That's pretty standard. And then I'm on the inside. So we're going to take our slip knot, pull it in, just so I have the tail on the inside. And then you're going to chain 2. 1, oh, my slip knot tightened there. Inadvertently, my slip knot tightened on me. So 1 and 2. And you're going to make your pumpkin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to keep going. 11, 12, 13, 14, and we're going to do 15. So I'm going to do 15 rows for each of these guys. Now for this one, I'm not too worried about that. So I am going to only do the one chain, and then I am going to trim it, pull it out, and then you have a cute little pumpkin here. I am going to darn it in because I want that stable base at the top to work with. So I am just going to tie it in, and I'll show you how to finish off this first one, and we're going to do them all the same, slip knot and everything. So they're not actually connected to anything else here. They're just connected to themselves. So they're just going to be individual little pumpkins. Where these ones are all chained together, these ones are not going to be. That's why I can't make it work. Nope, nope. In and in. There we go. So you just want to pull your tail through. Trim it off. I'm going to pull the tail through the other way. So the second tail that I have here. And then we're just gonna put that through there, pull it through. Trim. And then just to finish the little one off, I'm going to come to the front. I'm going to grab just a quick loop at the top. And then you're just going to do a couple of chains of the green. Now, I have these greens kicking around just because, no, I don't want that one. That's the one I want. Because of another project I was working on, and I needed to have the green, I needed to have green on the project I'm working on, so tighten that up. I'm going to go in again, and I'm going to do a secondary chain. One. And see, I don't want to go too high. And I think the one chain's good. So you're then going to have a little chain on the top. Just that one little single crochet at the very top of your pumpkin. And then I want to try to figure out, probably just going to come in and just, honestly, just, this might be easier. And then you just tighten it up. I want to go that way, so I'll go this way. Wasn't a nice one. There we go. Got it in the back one. Trim the two off, and there you have it. So I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to go to the next pumpkin on the inside, and I'm just going to keep going. So 1, 2, and we're going to do 15. 1, 2. So I will be back when I'm done, and I'll show you the finished product. So to finish it up, I decided to just embroider in a little bit of green on the bottom ones. And I basically did the same with the top. So I couldn't get the crochet to work here. So what I did, actually I want to go the other way. And then I just kept wrapping everything up. Just so you get a little bit of green at the top, allowing you to have a really cute pumpkin patch top. Let's see if I can go this way. There we go. Pull it through. And then I'm going to trim, and I will show you what it looks like. So there you have it. As I said, I used that hook mainly because of how I was going to have to loop it. And as I said, if you do want to do this, that'll give you a little bit more of a rim around to drink, whereas this one's going to be right up at the top. But I also did add more rows on this one as opposed to this one. So as you can see, you have your pumpkin patch, and there you have it. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you again. Bye.